You wouldn't ache for something you couldn't become.
Dream big, because your future self can afford it.
Dream big.
Allow yourself to dream big dreams.
The magic of thinking big.
Dream big, because your future self can afford it. Dream big, because your future self can afford it. Some of you have been shrinking your dreams to fit your current situation. You look at your bank account, your circumstances, where you are in life right now, and you think that's the end. You think it's the limit. Well, it's not. Your future self, the one who did the work, the one who took the leap, the one who stayed consistent even when it was hard, can afford everything that you're scared to want right now. The house, the freedom, the life, the peace. So stop budgeting your dreams based on today's balance, because your future self has already written the check. Dream like they're the one paying for it, because they are.
You know, when you become successful, one of the most common questions people ask you is, if you had to do it again, what would you do different? Here's my answer. I would dream bigger. My limitation, reason I'm only a billionaire in Australia because of the exchange rate, is I didn't think bigger. My capacity for imagining this life, I didn't have that capacity. I really believe a mind, once expanded, can never go back to its original size. Dream big, but work your ass off.
Anybody that tells somebody not to dream too big has it completely flipped. The biggest problem in the world is people dream too small.
100%. But I have to ask you, what is your opinion on being realistic?
I love realism. I'm practical as out here. But I never had anybody say to me, don't dream too big. You know why? When I would talk about shit that didn't look obvious, that I buy the jets and shit like that, I was doing shit that made them scared to tell me not to dream too big. When I hear people get told you're dreaming too big, I get concerned because I think they're talking and they're not doing shit.
The size of your dreams must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. If you start off with a small dream, you may not have much left when it is fulfilled, because along the way, life will test your dreams and make demands on you.
Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment.
If you see somebody that you admire, you should ask them the question, what does it cost to be you? Because they paid a price to be the person that you actually know them to be. So I have to ask you today, do you really want to grow? The difference between somebody that is good and somebody that is great and somebody that goes to the next level is the investment that they are willing to make inside of themselves. Because I believe the size of your dream should determine the size of your investment. So if you got big dreams, you should start thinking big investment. If you've got small dreams, do nothing and you'll probably make them happen anyways. I've had plenty of friends come to me and go, man, your social media has taken off over the last couple of years. You know what I say? I say, we've invested in it over the last couple of years. Hey, man, dude, I really love your book cover. We invested in that book cover. Whatever you're impressed with, I promise you, behind it is a great investment.
You have nothing to lose, absolutely nothing, and you have everything to gain. The best thing you can do is just fail, is to really just fall flat on your face. So if anything, if you get rejected, if you don't even get an honorable mention or any of that crap, that's more juice for your art. That's more inspiration.
And what do you plan to do if a dream of yours doesn't work out?
That doesn't even enter my consciousness.
I'm really in pursuit of greatness.
And I'm obsessed with being the best version of myself. And that's a daily thing. And you know what? People give up right before they get what they always wanted to get. People quit and they give up. And I'm not the type of person that's going to quit before I get what I want to have.
You think the universe gave you impossible dreams to torture you? No. The desire and the capacity arrive together. You wouldn't ache for something you couldn't become. The longing itself is evidence of possibility. Your dreams aren't cruel jokes. They're invitations. Your nervous system doesn't generate yearning for impossibilities. Every deep desire has corresponding neural pathways waiting to develop. The want and the way are packaged together. You just can't see the way until you start walking. Notice how solutions appear after you commit, not before. Resources show up once you start moving. People arrive when you need them. That's not coincidence. It's response to your energetic decision. The universe matches your movement with support. That terror you feel about your dreams It's not warning you away, it's confirming importance. Your nervous system only activates fear around things that matter. Indifference is the opposite of calling, not fear.
I am a product of unrealistic thinking. Ultraman was unrealistic. Marquis Jet, unrealistic. Zico, unrealistic. Getting a record deal, unrealistic. Getting a book deal, I went 0 for 14, someone gave me, was unrealistic. Everybody in my life, every single step of every one of my ventures, people said it was unrealistic. Start small, blah, 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 blah. Unrealistic thinking gets unrealistic results. How, if you were to strip that from her because you thought it was too big or too much on her plate or whatever, how could she be a superstar? She wants to be a superstar. She wants to do something unrealistic. Don't take that away from her.
You don't build wealth by playing small. If you have big dreams, you got to take big action. One of my favorite books I ever read was Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. And what Tony teaches there is not simple motivation. It's the fact that if you don't dream big and set goals and know what you want, you'll probably never accomplish it. So you have to go out and figure out what it is you want. One of the biggest regrets I'd always say I have is I don't think I dreamed big enough, and I'm trying to work on that still. And a lot of times we're all guilty of saying, I don't really need these things, and then we see somebody else's accomplishment and say, I should have done that. And you don't want to have that. So one, I highly recommend you get the book because it's incredible for motivation. It's incredible for teaching you how to set up goals and guidelines. However, more importantly, Tony teaches is that if you do set a goal, like if you hit a certain threshold, you're going to take a vacation or buy a car, you must follow through, because if you don't, your brain and your subconscious mind doesn't understand where the reward was. So dream big, set huge goals, have targets, and when you win and you accomplish it, get what you deserve. Buy yourself the toy.
I remember, I was that kid who wrote my goals down of what I wanted to do, of what I wanted my life to be. I literally wrote it down. I was like, this is what I want to do. And I remember being 4 years old and laying in bed and going, I want to make movies. You know, sometimes I'd tell a couple of people my dreams and stuff, and sometimes it was too much for people to have. They just didn't understand it and they invalidated it or whatever. So I just was like, okay, it's okay. I'm not going to say it anymore, but I know the dreams that I have.
How is it going to feel when your dreams become a reality? Go there. You go there, whatever it is. Governor, congressman, senator, billionaire, millionaire, founder of a company, taking a company public, the house, the yacht, the boat, the trips, the travel, the accolades, the respect, the comment from your mom, your dad, your teacher, your professor, your enemy, your competitor, whatever it may be. Big! Audacious. How's it going to feel? In that moment, if you can convince yourself that feeling is so insanely good, then you would be willing to pay the price that the man needed for your big dreams to become a reality. At one point, we all have to answer 4 questions. How big are your dreams? How demanding are your dreams? Are you willing to meet that demand? And how is it going to feel if those dreams become a reality? If the answer to those questions are very big, you write them out. Very demanding, you write them out. I'm willing to meet the demand, go do it. And I want to experience because I think it's going to feel incredible, then you go pay the price and eventually your big dreams are going to become a reality.
I feel like if you think too small, you're actually disrespecting God. Because small goals don't require any faith. So if all you ever do is attempt things that are capable in your own power, you basically told God that you don't need Him. And at that point, God isn't required anymore.